Welcome to Roll Call, a 126th Air Refueling Wing podcast of the Illinois Air National Guard at Scott Air Force Base. I'm your host, Technical Sergeant Brian Ellison. The Roll Call podcast focused on people, mission, and community. Want to start out today by saying hello to everyone from the wing who is deployed. Thanks for listening. I'm joined in the studio by Senior Master Sgt. Cindy Beaird from the 126th Air Refueling Wing Base Education and Training Office. I understand, Sergeant Beaird, you have folks deployed over there.
I do. Thanks for having me. Hello, everyone. We miss you. Hope you're all doing well.
Yeah, if you're back here in the wing and you want to send something to those folks who are deployed, you need to get that stuff. You want to get it to them by Christmas Day. Your first class and priority needs need to be sent by December 11th. Priority Mail Express military needs to be in the mail by December 18th. Now, having said all of that, it does not guarantee delivery times, but the thought is there, so that's what counts the most. We're here joined in the studio by Senior Master Sergeant Cindy Beaird from the 126th Air Refueling Wing Base Education and Training Office. What do you guys do in that office, Sergeant Beaird?
So we are responsible for the training needs of the wing, and we are the base level. So we have unit representatives out there in every unit, the unit training managers. So we work with them. But the initial thing that everybody, as soon as they enlist, they come see us so they can get dates for basic training and tech school. And we ensure that they're qualified. We look at their ASVAB scores, all that kind of good stuff, make sure they're classified correctly. And we get them dates. So they're all excited about that. You know, when do I get to go to basic and tech school? So that's right out the gate. They're going to come see us. And then once they get back, we process them, get their certificates, ask them how everything went. Everything usually goes pretty well for our people. We have a really strong student flight program, and we get really good feedback about that because honestly, they get yelled at a little bit here before they go, so they know what to expect. But one of the airmen who recently came back said it was great because he got there, he did know, kind of what to expect. He had been yelled at theoretically, So it's really good. It's a really good opportunity for them. They come back and we get them processed to their end unit out in the wing. And from there, their unit training manager pretty much takes care of them. And then we get any follow-on training later, professional military education, we handle that. One of my favorite programs in the office is the Community College of the Air Force.
Yes, yeah. A lot of gnashing of teeth and hand-wringing over CCAF. I have to say, I came from the Army, and then one of the first things out of anybody's mouth was CCAF. Oof. I'm like, it sounds like a great idea. Tell me more about the CCAF, and why is it a good thing?
Okay, and then I'd like to know who's gnashing their teeth about it. So Community College of the Air Force is a 2-year associate's degree program, obviously hosted by the Air Force. It is a real, air quotes, I don't know why I have to use air quotes, a real associate's degree. I think some people misunderstand that it's just a certificate or something that's Air Force specific, which it is, but it is actually an associate's degree. It is, the CCAF is accredited, just like SWIC or any other community college, in your local area. So you get enrolled as soon as you are done with your tech school, and it is based on your career field. So you can't just pick whatever CCAF you want to have. It is based on your career field, because you need the technical credits you get from tech school, and then when you get your 5 level, and then depending on if you might need some credits from your 7 level. Mm-hmm. So that is the core of it, and that is awesome because you could take that to a civilian, it transfers to your civilian education if you're going to go on to your bachelor's degree, but it also, you can give it to your employer, and it shows your technical expertise in the career field that you're in. And you don't have to do anything extra. So a lot of our folks do join because they want to go to college. So you need your general education requirements just like you need from any school. So math, social science, humanities, all that jazz. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times people are already doing that. They already went to tech school. They're already doing their CDCs to get their 5 level. There's a leadership and management. Oh man, I forgot what the acronym stands for. LMMS. Anyway, it's management. But there's a requirement for that can be met through their PME, their professional military education. So they do ALS, they do NCOA, and that takes care of that. So again, there's not a lot extra, and they get an associate's degree.
I mean, you get basically associate's degree for just doing your job.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, and you can't really go wrong with that. I think a lot of people saw it as a barrier to CCAF as a barrier to promotion.
It used to be a requirement for Senior Master Sergeant in Chief, but again, given that you shouldn't have to do much extra,
right?
And they like to see, like with my kids, I tell them they can do whatever they want in life, but I pretty much the only demand I have is that they get their associate's degree. Just because I think I'm a big proponent of education. I have a master's degree.
Yeah.
I have all these things. I have 3 CCAF degrees, as a matter of fact.
That's awesome.
I've had 3 career fields. So, and yeah, I've got my bachelor's, my master's. So I think that it's not unreasonable to expect your senior NCOs to pursue at least an associate's degree.
Sure, yeah.
And again, so it shouldn't be a barrier for anyone. And that's not even a requirement anymore, by the way.
Oh, it isn't?
No.
Oh, that's good. I mean, but I think you're right. But I would expect senior NCOs to have some sort of education.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just...
Once in a while. So one of the barriers to that is if they got a technical degree in something. So if they went to a trade school, which is fantastic. Again, there's nothing wrong with trade schools. Whatever people want to do in their life and they want to pursue it, that's great. But if you go to a trade school, you may not have all of your gen eds done. That is a requirement for CCAF. So that was a barrier for some people.
Okay. And they can come see you, and what can you do for them with the CCAF?
So they can come see us, and we will look at their CCAF record. They can look at it themselves through the Air Force Virtual Education Center, AFVEC is what it's called, because we have acronyms for everything. Mm-hmm. So they can look at their own, or we can help them translate it, because there's kind of a lot going on, and we can let them know where they stand with things, what they have left. We can advise to a point on if they are going to SWCC, for example. We could say, hey, you need a humanities, and we can pull up, there's a civilian course conversion table that tells us if you are going to SWCC, you can take this class, and it'll meet the humanities requirement for CCAF. So we can help them almost like college counselors,
Sure.
So that's one of my favorite parts of the job.
Wow, that's I need to come see you.
Yes, you do.
Because I have a master's.
Well, there you go.
And I don't know. I would like to have a CCAF.
Exactly.
And like Mass Comm or something. I don't know if I can get a Mass Comm or what equivalent of this career field it has, but yeah, I'd be very interested in coming. We could set an appointment with you for that.
Absolutely, yep.
In person, or is it virtual?
We could do either, because we could look at it, remotely.
Sure.
The only thing that you need to take action on, and sometimes that's better, especially if you do already have a degree in hand, is you need to send your transcripts to CCAF.
Oh, okay.
Because then, and it's just like any other college, they have to audit your transcripts from other schools, see how it applies. The only trick to it is any school you've ever been to, you have to have transcripts sent from that school.
Oh, okay. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
What's a good phone number there for you guys at the Base Education and Training Office?
618-222-5725 or 5727.
5725 or 5727.
Correct.
Okay. Are there changes coming to CDCs? Because it seems like I know our career field is going away from CDCs.
Yeah. So as it stands, historically, CDC's career development course, it's the books, everybody thinks of their volumes that they might have. So you get enrolled in that when you get back from tech school. And again, historically, it's been one process that you get enrolled in it, you do the books, and then you come into our testing center and you take your test, your end of course test, when your supervisor decides you're ready. Now, a few career fields have gone to, it's called Canvas, and it's basically a self-contained program. So the person gets their account set up, they log in, we still have to enroll them in it. It's a different process, but once they're in it, it may be synchronous, it may not be, it just depends. And there's some pros and cons to it. honestly. So like anything, we're in the learning curve of it. So there's some good, there's some bad.
You guys handle, I'm sure you do, but NCO, you said you handle NCO academies.
PME, yep.
PMEs. What changes are coming to that?
So that one, those are good changes to my mind because it was already kind of self-contained,
Right.
a little bit more so. They already have completed the process for NCOA just a couple months back. That again, it's the same kind of thing where the person gets enrolled by themselves, they study. There are 4 modules now, so the format is a little bit different. They only have 4 months to complete it. So historically, people would enroll themselves and then be like, they'd forget about it for like 8 months, or whatever,
Right.
and then cram and try to get it done. But so now, yeah, they don't have to come test with us. That's really the biggest difference it's more like an online college class. That's what all of this is. They're sort of going to that model that they kind
Sure.
of want to, look at it like an online class. So we've gotten really great feedback about the NCOA. They're doing the beta test for ALS now, and they're going to be doing the beta test for the senior NCOA next month, I believe. So good changes there.
Yeah, and you said you don't know how long the course. You said 4 months. What does that involve? Does that involve? You said it's mostly self-contained. So no online no online
crosstalk.
Crosstalk.
Posting. Yeah, not so much. For NCOA, I don't believe. Sometimes you have to, like again, online classes. You have to look at somebody else's post and comment on theirs. That kind of stuff. Yeah.
The least favorite thing of online.
Exactly. Yeah. But to my knowledge, the NCOA is completely self-contained. It's just the person doing it themselves. At their pace. So we've had some people knock it out really quickly. So 4 months is the max you get. But we have, so far, nobody's needed that much time.
Really? Okay.
Really, the feedback now is that enroll in it when you're ready to get it done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I'm ready to get it done, by the way, if anybody's listening.
Right.
If my boss is listening, I'm ready to do this. Is CDC testing going away? Is that something that all career fields are going to go away from, CDCs?
It's looking like the long-term plan is, yes, for it to go away. As far as them coming into our testing center.
Okay.
And doing an end-of-course test.
Is that because of the virus, or is that just something that they was going that way anyways?
It was already going that way. Again, I think that they like to look at, the civilian side, and again, with the college courses and everything else, and try to model, hopefully, the good part of what they see, off of that. So even when you look at it, you're sort of trading out one program for another, though, because we have an e-exam program, it's called. We have to have the testing center and everything that goes along with that. Here at the 126th, we only do PME and CDC testing, because we have a host tenant agreement with Scott Air Force Base that any other testing that people might need, the AFOCD if they want to become an officer, if they have to retake their ASVABs, all that stuff, they go to the other side of base and they handle that stuff for us, which is awesome. So we don't have to worry about it. So our testing center will likely just go away eventually. But so I don't know. It's good and bad, like I said.
Yeah. We're here talking with Senior Master Sergeant Cindy Beaird from the Base Education and Training Office. I got to ask you, Sergeant Beaird, how has the pandemic changed your workflow or the work that you've done here at the wing?
Well, luckily, we can do a lot of things virtually. We out-process people. So, again, we send people to basic training and tech school.
Mm-hmm.
They do need to come in and see us so that they can get their tickets. They can have 10 copies of orders, all the paperwork.
Yeah.
We don't have the big yellow envelope anymore that we used to send.
Oh, man.
I know,
used
it's
to be
kind of
so much
sad.
fun.
It's kind of sad. Now all that goes virtual,
Really?
Yep.
Ugh.
Yep, I know. But we still send them with papers.
Oh, good.
I could put it in a big yellow envelope. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, just a throwback.
Yeah, just so they have a big yellow ratty tatty envelope by the time they get to San Antonio.
Yep, absolutely. I have a picture of that in my office. Actually, I've got a picture of me clutching my yellow envelope at the airport, red-faced from crying. That's all right. But no, so we need to see them for that. But otherwise, we rethought our process That's one of my strengths. I like to think as thinking outside the box. How could we do this? I'm really good with technology, so I'm good with digitizing any form that we've got that we can make it happen. So we were able to roll with the telecommuting and teleworking and all that stuff pretty well. We were able to flex with that. So we couldn't do testing for a while. Now we have limited testing so that we can distance everybody. We have the capability typically for 10, and we're down to 4 just so we can space everybody out.
Yeah, I did my 5 level, I don't know, a couple months ago, and I was the only one in there.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
Why did you join the Air National Guard?
So I joined because my boyfriend was in the Guard.
Oh.
And do you want the whole story?
Sure, why
Okay.
not? I want to hear this.
I like
Boyfriend,
telling stories.
everybody.
Let's go into it.
Yeah,
So,
tell us the story. That's what we're here for.
when I was 18, I went on spring break with a couple of my friends to Florida and met the boyfriend, current husband, in 1994. So yeah, it's been a while. We've been together for a while. But we had a long distance relationship. We clicked, the angels sang, the stars, sprinkled, shined on us, whatever. Yeah. But so we met, we clicked, hit it off to the point where we had a long distance relationship for a little while, and he was active duty Air Force.
Oh, really?
He was TDY in Florida.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, hanging out TDY, doing
Yeah.
at spring break.
Yeah,
All right.
Exactly. At Fort Walton Beach.
Nice.
It was fine. It was fine for them. But yeah, so we had a long distance relationship for a while, and then he went Palace Chase. So that's when active duty Air Force can terminate their contract a little early, and I think they basically double it to come into the Guard. So they continued their military service. So he went Palace Chase, started going to school with me, all that kind of stuff. So a year after he got out of the Guard, I got in. So I was like, wait a minute, they'll pay for my college. And so I joined the Missouri Air National Guard over at Jefferson Barracks.
Oh, wow.
And originally I was in the 157th Air Control Group.
Ooh.
And then they were not a group at the time. I don't remember. But then I switched over to the 218th Engineering Installation Squadron, which was his unit because there was an opportunity for a full-time position. So, yeah, originally I came into the Guard for school, pay for school.
Sure.
And it looked, I don't want to say easy enough, but it looked interesting, when watching him go to drill weekends and everything. So I thought, well, I could definitely do that. And I wanted a fallback career.
Right.
At the time, I went into information management, which was essentially secretarial, really, at the time. It was just administrative stuff. Oh. I learned how to properly fold a letter and put it into an envelope in tech school. So, yes, it was. Oh, wow. It was that. It was not what it is these days.
Information management.
Yep. So, So, yeah, I thought, sure, I could, again, get training, have a fallback career. I was a traditional for 3 years, and then I got a full-time position at JB.
Nice.
And then a few years after that, I transferred over here to the 126th because they had just come down from Chicago. And so I've been here in the 126 for 20 years, since 2000.
Are you from the Missouri side?
I am. I'm from Baldwin, West County.
Yep. Really? That's where my dentist was. Baxter Dental at the corner of Baxter and Manchester. So, anyways, So you came. Why did you leave? Why did you leave the Missouri side to come over to the Illinois side?
We lived over here. So my husband worked on base under the DISA umbrella, basically for one of the contractors over there because of and he had gotten that civilian job because of his military experience in the 218th. So we lived over here and I worked over there. Well, then it just made a lot of sense to because they had a lot of job openings, obviously, because, some people chose to stay behind in Chicago and not move. So when there was a job opening, I applied and I got it. So it worked out really well. So I joined the comm flight when I came here and I worked at the help desk. And it was still information management. Again, it has evolved a lot. So, but yeah, it was fun. It was really fun working at the help desk and the comm flight.
And then you said this in you did a Facebook Live, I don't know, back in May, I believe it was. And you had a great point for people who were thinking about joining the Air National Guard and a full-time job. what was that you had mentioned about if you're going to join the Air National Guard? I'll let you finish that thought. If you know.
So
where I'm
you
going.
could talk to your recruiter if you think you want, for it to lead to a full-time position, that they can tell you which jobs are more likely, which jobs kind of have more typical either turnover or openings or whatever for a full-time position. Our recruiting team is wonderful. So yeah, like you said, the Facebook Live video I did, you could still go out to our 126 Air Refueling Wing recruiters page, the recruiting page, and you could find that video and watch it there. Talk about, the Guard and my experience and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, the recruiting team is wonderful. So if you wanted a full-time position, they could help you, whittle down your list of jobs that you're qualified for, that they have openings for, et cetera, just in case that's something that you're interested in.
So before you were full-time, what did you do? You were just in school? Or?
Yep, I was just going to school.
Oh, no fascinating part-time job?
Not really. No. I went to, 5 different colleges before I got my undergrad.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess
we just moved a lot.
That was pretty true for me too, I guess, because I was in the Army, and so just doing all these online and just finally I'll put it together.
Yeah.
Where did you guys moved? You moved a lot?
Yeah. So let's see. So when he came to school with me, I was going to school in Springfield, Missouri.
Okay.
And it
Southwest Missouri State.
Yeah, but it's just Missouri State now.
Yeah,
they upgraded, I guess.
I know. I moved away for 10 years and everything changed.
Yeah. So we finished that year out, came back to St. Louis, went to the community college. Oh geez, now you're gonna make me remember my life.
Oh no.
So yeah, we went to the St. Louis Community College for a while, and I think that's when I don't know, when I had to press pause for a minute with school to go to basic and tech school,
right?
Which it worked out really well for me as far as timing. So I only had to take one semester off. We went to community college up in Iowa. My husband's from Keokuk, Iowa.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so we went there because we thought we wanted to go to Iowa State.
Okay.
No, University of Iowa.
I don't know.
Crap! I'm gonna be in so much trouble.
Oh no! Oh,
no, not Iowa State. University of Iowa.
Either the Cyclones or the
Hawkeyes.
The Hawkeyes. That's what it is.
I'm in so much trouble right now. No, it's the Hawkeyes. Go Hawks. There was panic. But yeah, so we went there. Well, then my husband got a full-time job opportunity here on base. So we moved back here. Oh no, see, now I'm lying again.
Okay.
It's so much, it's so much. We went to Western Illinois University after that.
Oh, okay.
And I loved that school. That was cool. Then he got his full-time position. So I kind of did a year at every place. So we got his full-time position here, and we transferred here. We moved here, and then I went to UMSL to finish it up.
Okay, yeah.
It got the job done.
Exactly. That's what we try to tell. My daughter's 16, and she's worried about it. I was like, she's really good in school, but at the same time, we're like, as long as you get a piece of paper.
Exactly.
I mean, that's, and that's what my wife and I said to each other. As long as you get that piece of paper, just keep plugging away till you get that piece of paper. And that's,
just find something you're interested in. It doesn't have to be what you want to do for the rest of your life. My undergrad is psychology.
Oh, that's great.
And I didn't want to do anything with psychology.
Right.
I just found it interesting, like self-analyze. No, but I thought it was interesting, and I thought, okay, cool. I'll get the piece of paper in this, and we'll see what happens.
Major Lane, do you know what her bachelor's is in?
No.
Glass blowing.
What?
Yes.
That's amazing.
I know. And she doesn't do it anymore. I was like, man, we should set up, get her. She said it's really expensive to do.
Yeah.
But yeah. So really, as long as you have that piece of paper, you can go to so many places.
Exactly.
With that piece of paper, and they can come see Sergeant Beaird in the base training and education office to find out more about that. So you guys moved so you're living here on the Illinois side now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we lived in O'Fallon, and then we moved to Belleville, and then we actually moved to Nashville, Illinois, because my husband, once he was done with his undergrad, he went to law school at Carbondale. So it sort of split the difference that I could, I worked here, so I commuted here 45 minutes, I think, is kind of about where we were for that. But for him, it was about an hour from Nashville to Carbondale. But it worked. It worked out great. So that was it was nice that we had that opportunity. And Nashville is a cute little town.
You guys have a busy life.
We do.
And you guys have kids. How do you guys juggle that with that busy life? What do you guys, because especially with this job, can be a little unpredictable. And if your he's in law now, or?
Yes. Well, So, we have 2 boys,
Okay.
13 and 16. Thankfully, we both had positions that we could juggle, the home life balance and everything. So he works downtown now with, he's called a staff attorney. So they kind of do research and they just help, when they do big litigations and cases and things like that. And he loves it. He loves it. It's his pace, and it also translates perfectly for pandemic, as it turns out. So everything he's been teleworking this whole time, and everything he needs to do, he can absolutely just get on the computer and do it. So that has been great.
Yeah, I'd say that must really help you out.
Yes. So to circle around to the question you actually asked, it's like Zootopia. I'm going to take your question, ask my own question, and answer that question.
That's great. Love it.
But no, we've been managing with the kids. We also had them in the Child Development Center on base. So I had, they were right here in case anything happened, especially when he was going to school far away. It was pretty much me having to do that kind of stuff, but it was fine because they were right here on base. And then they, leveled up to the youth center. So that was the school-aged opportunity. And again, that's right here on base. And we lived, when we moved to Mascoutah, after he got done with, we moved to base, and then once he figured out his full-time position, we moved to Mascoutah, and that's where we are now, to stay for a while.
Okay.
I promise. But the school district there buses the kids to and from the youth center. So it's awesome. So the before and after care program was amazing. So really, it was, I have probably utilized almost every Air Force, Air National Guard benefit you can think
That's
of.
That's great.
But yeah, the family stuff is great. Yeah, they really have some great opportunities for us. Sports, the kids were able to get into sports, and especially for like us armchair sports type people, that if you're not really into the select craziness, it was a little too, not our speed. Let's put it that way. But it's still awesome to get kids into sports and have the team mentality and all that kind of good stuff. They have soccer and baseball and t-ball and indoor hockey. That was really fun.
Really?
For the kids. Oh, yeah. They loved that.
Hockey?
No, just floor hockey.
Floor hockey.
Yeah,
Okay.
just floor hockey. And it was cheap, compared to out on the economy. So it was, we have had a lot of great opportunities to utilize those benefits to really help out with that, with the childcare situation and the work-life balance and all that. So
Your kids play sports now?
No. They do video games.
Oh, but come on, they can become professional video gamers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, they're in scouts, so
that's
that
good.
keeps them pretty busy. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
They're probably going to go camping next weekend, and it's going to be cold, but it'll be fine. Yeah.
No, thank you.
No, yeah. Pass. Hard pass.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I don't think people, who are in the Air National Guard realize the programs that are out there that you, for one, have taken advantage of, and people need to really look into that.
Absolutely. Yeah. You don't have to be full-time to utilize it. I mean, you have to be close to base, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you work in the area, you can still use the CDC and the youth center, and it's great. It really has been a wonderful opportunity for all of us because, that way, even when the kids got old enough technically to go home and just sit there, it was great that they got to go to the youth center and hang out with other kids and run around and get their homework done.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
My son goes to the Boys and Girls Club. Thank God for them that they can get that homework done before we come pick them up. So we don't have to fight that fight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's tough.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, we're here with Senior Master Sergeant Cindy Beaird. Thank you for stopping by the Roll Call podcast. I appreciate it. You want to find out what's going on in and around the wing, you can go to the 126th Air Refueling Wing Facebook page to find out, and you'll see this podcast. You'll see, one thing that we're going to do this week especially, because you're hearing this It'll be just the day before Thanksgiving. But we're asking people to tell us what they're thankful for in a video message. So you can see that on our Facebook page. You can see the commander, what he's thankful for on our Facebook page as well. And I wanted to, actually, you are on you just started a new Facebook page for a group that you're on, Sergeant Beaird.
Yeah, so I am on the Scott Air Force Base Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging Working Group. I'm part of that group that they recently stood up. And I'm on the marketing team. So I utilize my Facebook knowledge and I created the Facebook page. So please go out and like our page, Scott AFB Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging, DIB.
DIB, I like that.
Scott AFB DIB. And so we're just trying to get, again, the diversity message, inclusion, and everything that means, whatever that means, race, gender, neurodiversity, everything, anything and everything. They're really doing great with the Air Force as far as getting the message out. Even, uniform standards. I'm waiting with bated breath because they had a uniform board just a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And they discussed men having beards.
Oh, that's right. When the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air National Guard, Williams, was here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He was talking about this. This is fascinating. Yes, beards.
Yeah, yep. So beards in uniform for ladies, and this is what I'm hoping for, to be able to wear one long braid down your back. So that would be amazing for multiple reasons. It kind of hurts.
Yeah, you have a lot of hair back there.
I have a lot of hair. This is all my hair. It's not a sock or whatever you put in. That's all me. But yeah, so that would be awesome. And then again, as far as the diversity and inclusion, it is easier for a wide variety of hairstyles. Like if you have braids or locks or anything, or just thick hair like me, it can be challenging to keep it within the standards. But if we could just wear it in one braid, that would be amazing.
Yeah, what's the, do you know the reasoning behind the beards for men?
Well, again, I think that they're, taking a look at legacy uniforms. Should we keep the uniform standards just because they've always been the uniform standards?
But they weren't 150 years ago.
Exactly. It's always changing.
They had those big, thick mustaches.
Exactly, yeah. So they, that's what they're looking at. Why do we do this? Is there a reason for it? Is it a safety reason? Is it any of that stuff? They might end up making changes that you can have one standard when you're in garrison, but if you're deployed, maybe you have to be clean shaven, you have to keep your hair up, whatever.
That makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. But just being able to, because I know, men, I did not realize beards were such a thing. But you look at anybody who retires, any guy who retires, pretty much 2 weeks later, he's going to have a full beard.
Yeah, that's true.
He's going to try it.
Yeah, it gets, if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't shave as much.
Yeah, and I think that's it, yeah.
Yeah. I'm only growing, let me apologize for my mustache. It's ridiculous, but it is Movember, so me and Sergeant Stevens were celebrating Movember. Somehow he shaved, and I still have not. So I got a week left of this ridiculous
thing. He gave up?
He gave up or something. Or he messed up. That's what.
Oops.
That's why I have this little part right here that's not growing in, because I accidentally ran over it one day. But I was like, nope, I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it.
That's
all
funny.
right. Thank you again, Senior Master Sergeant Cindy Beaird, for stopping by the Roll Call Podcast. Thank you for listening to the Roll Call Podcast. The Roll Call Podcast focused on people, mission, and community. I'm Tech Sergeant Brian Ellison.